and then pulled out her director general. That's in Reuters, who really is the dictator. And so they're even having to admit now that Commonwealth nations never got out from under the Queen. That's in Reuters today.
Interesting.
Can you speak specifically just to the expanding police state?
Well, you know that for example, the Patriot Act is not going to be repealed. I know that a lot of people thought that was going to be the case when Obama came into power, and there was going to be like this large cash infusion in the social programs, and an immediate pull out of Iraq and that kind of stuff. And it's unrealistic to think that would be the case. You know,
they just said troops for 3 more years are going to be there.
And really?
They just said yesterday 3 more years, and of the main force of 160,000, and then a permanent force of 50,000, basically forever.
I think the way that we can frame this moving forward is to look at this economic downturn, which is probably the worst in this country's history. It will be.
Yep.
As being the 2008, 2009, 9/11.
Financial 9/11. I agree.
There you go. And so when you look at it that way, and you look at, you say a traumatized mind is a susceptible mind. Like you can mold public perception and have the public be behind whatever you want them to be behind when they're traumatized. You can look at this economic violence being visited on the American people as having the same effect as 9/11.
Well, again, I don't even blame Obama. He is a complete and total puppet. I'm sorry to tell folks, just like every other president since Kennedy. But he is going to end up, they're not going to be able to blame all this on Bush, even though he's a puppet as well. That's what I'm saying, Paris. They're going to set him up. The people really believe he's going to bring change and change things. It's like Bill Hicks said, they basically take the president in and show him the Sabruder film and then say any questions. And so that's my whole point, is I want people to get it out of their heads that there's going to be any change other than the fact that this guy can string a sentence together and Bush couldn't, and this guy is eloquent and has a nice smile. So it's not as insulting to have Obama because, he is slick and smart compared to Bush up there. It's kind of insulting to have this, monkey up there every day.
Right.
So with Obama, it's going to be a lot better. But that's it in packaging. I guess they're going to kind of dress themselves up when they rape us instead of, doing it with just no clothes on.
Yeah, well, and we're both pessimists. So, I can't even say that I'm cautiously optimistic anymore. I'm just a pessimist about the whole thing. And, hopefully I'll be proven wrong, but chances are I won't be, and we'll both still be doing this a few years from now. When I can do party music and you can make comedies, then we'll all be cool.
Man, actually, I would love to make weird documentaries, about subcultures and things, and I'd love to make things about nature. I'd love to make documentaries about whales. I like whales. I like Who's in there running the shows looking at me weird. Did you know that there's a whale called the bowhead whale that lives to about 250 years?
I do now.
I'm looking at my guy, and they're looking at me like I'm a weirdo that like whales. No, man.
But that's not weird, man. You think I hate to say this because it's hella cliche, but you think outside the box, and I do too, man. There's very little in mainstream media that speaks to me, and that's why I stay in my lane doing what I do.
Well, the point I was making is that I have all these other thoughts and all these other dreams.
Other things, but you feel like that, you don't want to waste time with any of that when they're more urgent things to discuss.
Exactly. That's the point, is actually I'm sick of this, but the fire in my belly just drives me to do it because I have no future if I don't. My family has no future, and so I'm kind of mad like my life's been stolen in a way.
Well, yeah, and that happens once you become enlightened. That's the truth. It's difficult to sit by and just, take what's spoon-fed to you when you know better.
Exactly.
That's the point that I've been making for quite a while now. When you know better, man, none of this is acceptable.
Well, that's it. I would love to take 3 vacations a year and spend more time with my family.
Right.
And I want to. And I can't disengage because there's always 100 more stories, 100 more crimes, 1,000. It's driving me nuts.
Somebody got to keep the torch burning. So there it is. You have this network set up, man. Don't waste it. That's how I look at it. I'm now finally in the driver's seat to be able to reach people globally doing what I do in a way that is a little bit more comfortable than it's been in the past because I have this relationship with Universal where they manufacture and they distribute and everything. So, I treat it very seriously, and I treat each project as though, as though it's my last.
Well, you know, people always look at folks that have been somewhat successful, and it's like, even though we're doing good work, sometimes they get mad at us, and I just say to them, hey, I want to see you do well. Get in there, do the decades of hard work. But so many people come into this, the Enlightenment movement, or whatever you want to call it, and they want instant success. Does life work that way usually, Paris?
Well, you just got to work for it like anything else. But I do know this. I do know that, you know, there are a lot more. There are a lot of hip hop artists and musical, personalities that I want to work with, that are whose abilities I really respect. But more often than not, what they have to say doesn't jibe with what I'm doing. You know, it's like you can't make messages that are degrading to people and come out on Guerrilla Funk. You just can't do it.
Well, and again, let's talk about that in the final segment. It's come out, as you know, in documents and programs that the establishment wants to put out this degrading message, not just in hip-hop or rap, but in rock and roll and everything. And that's been done by design. The CIA has been involved in that. And so that's why you see this degrading, materialistic mindlessness, and that's why it's so refreshing to see what you're doing, Paris, because it really grabs you in your soul, but also intellectually, and it's going to be through artists such as yourself that we turn the corner on this. Stay with us.
The holidays are right around the corner. The crowds, the countless hours in traffic, finding a parking spot just to buy a gift you're worried they might not like anyway. How about surprising your loved ones with a gift they can use every day of the year? Give the gift of safety with security products from pepperspray.com. Pepperspray.com carries the largest assortment of pepper spray and other personal safety devices on the web for your spouse, your children, your coworkers, and more. When you purchase the perfect gift from pepperspray.com, you'll receive 10% off just by using the coupon code GCN. What better way to say Merry Christmas than giving the priceless gift of safety and security from pepperspray.com? Shop now at pepperspray.com or call 1-800-908-9988. That's 1-800-908-9988.